channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to a look into our past as we take a look at an old video game franchise that goes all the way back to 1986. And it's a video game franchise that I love more than you guys can imagine. So as people begin to file in, I've got some awesome lore behind this game. Some things that a lot of people have it's kind of been forgotten to time. And it's going to be really neat. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. First things first, though, we are going to go ahead and minor adjustments. Ta-da! I already see one person in the live and a like. Thank you so much for being here. Total of 2 people in the live. We've got a lot of ground to cover. What's going on, Pisces? We're actually breaking down one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And thank you so much for being here. Guys, darn it, I've been waiting for you to poke your head in the live so I could do something, because you have me on your channel as one. You've got to be one on mine. So there we go. I've got you all squared away on. Usually takes everyone a few minutes to kind of get in here. We try to do something positive every day but Mondays. So we got a lot of ground to cover. This is one of my favorite video game franchises. And what I'm actually going to be doing is talking about, oh no, thank you. You're one of, you and Psychopath Jason Killer, you guys are some of the most key people on the Prince Magnum channel. You guys are the ones that shouted me out, hollered and said, hey, you guys got to go check this guy out. He's got some really awesome stuff. You know, you guys are the ones that helped me get where I'm at now. Okay. And we are not terribly that far off from being monetized. So thank you guys. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. What's going on? Go Times Con. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. We got a lot of man. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Right now, Go Times, we got an absolutely, you probably already know her, but we've got a really special person in the chat right now. That is none other than Miss Pisces Queen, who is just a dear friend to the Prince Magnum channel. Her and her hubby, Mr. Psychopath Jason Killer, are some of the earliest members of the Maverick Nation that was kind of a part of that early expansion last year. And we kind of went full bore, and it's like we dropped the hammer and we took off and started shooting towards, believe it or not, we started really rocketing towards that 1,000K support marker. So here we are now. We are over 1,000 strong here on on the Prince Magnum channel, and let me tell you, it took a lot of good people to get us where we are. So Pisces and her hubby, Mr. Psychopath Jason Killer, were a couple of the key people that were like, hey, check this dude out, go hang with him. You'll love him. He's got content like we've never seen before. But since Pisces is here, what's going on, Gavin John? Gavin John, welcome to the live stream. We got some Legend of Zelda lore we're going to go over today. Remember me telling you guys a couple weeks ago that we were going to take a look at doing some sort of a live stream where I would actually talk about some things that had changed in Legend of Zelda lore because of the fact that, well, it wasn't exactly PC, if you catch my meaning. I'm actually going to go over this in the first game where they talked about the original, the third Labyrinth, how it supposedly looked like the swastika, and people got really upset about that here in the United States. And they never really recalled that, but it's one of those things that I'm actually going to go over what actually kind of went sideways on that. So you guys are going to get a really, you guys are going to get a treat there. But before we get underway, I know y'all want to see the real star of the show. Pisces has not really got to see the true star of the Prince Magnum channel live, uncut, all that crazy stuff. So since Miss Pisces Queen is here, and I know she knows all about the hot rodding and romance side of the channel, we're going to travel a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of a walk, because it's one thing to talk about an amazing project car, but it's a totally different ballgame when you show it. And it's worth 1,000 words. Well, video's worth 1,000,000. So we're going to take a stop. We're going to take a walk outside, and I'm going to show you Miss Pisces Queen. You got to see the true star of the Prince Magnum channel. I'm just a host. The real star is right here. None other than my 1975 Ford Maverick, known as Project Spirit. This is the car I take Princess Faye out on dates. I take my wife out on dates in this car still. Obviously, because of the whole coronavirus thing, I haven't been able to do that. But this is the project car that we work on together. My wife and I work on this car. And this is the true star of the Prince Magnum channel. I drive this car every day to work. The original engine is still under the hood, an original 1975 Ford inline 6, the inline 250, and has a 3-speed manual transmission, or 3-speed standard transmission for us old guys like me. This is the car that when I take my wife out on dates, Princess Faye, we will come over here, and literally this is what I do. She'll walk over here to the door, and I open the door for her, and she has a seat right there. The bench seat allows me, after all of this time, I will still put my arm around her. We will cruise down the road together, and we'll take her somewhere nice. And that is exactly what we do. This is a regular thing for us. And yeah, that was actually a gift. This was actually a gift from a friend of, my partner from Sketch Squad TV. He sent that up. Yes, so I still do all the romance stuff. And when I say this is original mileage, add a 2 to the front of that. So she's coming up on 300,000, all original miles. The Maverick logo. And 3-speed manual transmission. What you see is what you get. And any art that you see on this car, my wife did. As a matter of fact, the pinstriping on this car, my wife did. This is not factory. My wife did this. It took her to do the hood, the stripes on the hood here, took her 2 hours to do. So if that's any indication, so this is what we normally do on the channel. So if you ever seen any of my videos and you've seen this car come into shot in the opening, yeah, she did an amazing job. Matter of fact, we did this panel together. Originally, this panel used to match this, the color of the car, but it was rusting, so we took it down to bare metal, repaired all the surface rust, and then primed it, and then put this satin just like they did on the Maverick Grabbers back in the 70s, and that's how it looks. We'll have to do a special walk around for you and Jason, because I think you guys would fall in love with a car like this. But this is my baby. This is my baby that my baby bought me, I guess you could say. What's going on, Queen? Queen Bee, welcome to the live stream. For those that do not know, Miss Queen Bee is actually a dear friend. Oh, well, now you're gonna have to tell them what you got to see. You're gonna have to tell them you got a special trip out to see Project Spirit before we got too crazy in a live stream. But this, again, this is my baby. This is my car. So there you have that. So, I had to bring you out here because I knew, I'm always saying, hello once again, welcome to the first time where hot rodding and romance do coexist. Well, that's why. That's my project car. And every once in a while things break on it, but doggone it, most of the time, what's going on, Hades? Hades, you missed it. We went out and took a look at your favorite car. You missed it. We went out and looked at your favorite car. Pisces, you don't want to know how much that car is worth. That car is worth an awful lot of money now. Oh, you were in here. Like I seen it. Don't worry. Don't worry, Prince Magnum. I saw her. Yeah. That you're a lurker. Well, yeah, you have been known to lurk every now and again. Usually, you get involved whenever I do the makeup live streams on Saturdays. Queen, I'm telling you, you don't want to know the price tag on that car now. The going price for vintage steel. Oh, welcome back, Go Times. The going price on vintage steel here in the, I don't know where exactly you might live, but here in the United States, the going price is $20,000 US for a car that doesn't even move, no engine, no transmission. You're lucky if the rear end is still in place. We are talking. Yeah, I know you definitely in it. For those that do not shared, for those that do not know, Saturdays we go live, and my wife puts me in drag makeup. So we have a lot of fun. Oh, your US $20,000 for a complete basket case that was once a car, and that goes for the '60s, '70s. We won't talk about the '50s. The '50s, you'll pay twice that. We're talking, the more age it's got, the more it's worth, and depending on the particular car, blah 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 blah. We're talking a lot of money. My car, the starting price would normally be about $20,000 just for that beat up old four door. Matter of fact, there's a playback from Saturday where I was wearing drag makeup, and yeah, my wife slathers drag makeup all over my face, and we have a blast. My wife's an amazing, talented woman. As a matter of fact, she went to a beauty academy that closed down in this area. And when she went to that beauty academy, she learned some skills. And on two separate occasions, when they had fashion shows, I was her model. I had to walk that runway for my wife, for part of her education. And by golly, I enjoyed every damn minute of it. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Prince Dragon on Saturdays. Yeah. You'll know it right away because it'll say Prince Dragnum is here and it'll give a date. Usually it's some sort of series of, it's basically something we do on Off the Chain. Real quick, for those who are not familiar, this channel has numerous series here on the channel. We are getting ready to say goodbye to one of them. It's just not what it once was, and it's going in the wrong direction. I'm just not happy with it anymore. But today we're actually supposed to be taking a trip back down memory lane. We're going back down memory lane, and we're going to take a look at the Legend of Zelda series. Now, when I say take a look at it, I mean, I'm not going to be playing the games right now. Like you dropped. Thank you, Gotons. We're going to basically take a look at some old school stuff. And basically, I'm going to actually show you guys where there's actually pieces of the lore missing from the original two games, things that most people don't even think about. And then, of course, an ongoing gag, and oh, that's yeah. I could have probably rocked that the glam rock look, like David Bowie. No question about that. So a lot of this is going to be, me kind of explaining the best I can. Until the best thing to come up. Yeah, a lot of the focus here on the Prince Magnum channel is during this pandemic. The big thing is that I want everyone to remain positive because a positive mind equals a healthy body. So we spend a lot of time talking about very positive things, trying to keep people built up and feeling good about themselves. The big thing that I push here on this channel is everyone is all include, we are all inclusive, never exclusive. I want everyone to always feel like when they come into the Prince Magnum channel, they are home. Okay. It's not just about family. When I say we are the Maverick Nation, what do I mean by that? We all think outside the box. We're much more than the average person. We don't think like other people, and people that don't think like other people, like us, we need a place to go. That's where the Prince Magnum channel comes in. We're thinkers, we're doers. We have an imagination. We see outside of the box, and we try to do outside of the box. As one of the things that I try to remind everyone, be a leader, don't be a follower, walk to the beat of your own drum. So now that you have heard those positive vibes that I try to continue to push onto everybody and to, build everyone up. Oh, hi, honey. Oh, well, I know you. Don't let it get to you. Just get done and get on home, baby. Right, right. Mr. Hades' disciple, good friend of ours. And for those that do not know, Fei Rue is actually the woman I refer to as Princess Fei Rue. And that is my beautiful, lovely wife. I know that we have some wonderful ladies in the chat. Oh, okay, well, just grab something different and come on home, baby. I got your smokes waiting for you in the living room. I'll explain later. For those that do not know, Feyru is my beautiful, gorgeous wife. Let me say right now, I know we have a lot of beautiful ladies in the chat, but none of you compare to my beautiful wife, who is, in my opinion, the most beautiful woman in the world. Hands down, bar none, she is the most beautiful woman in the world to me. Uh, and it becomes more and more so as time progresses. Okay, Let's start off with the first part of this particular series. Talking about Legend of Zelda. We just released that. We released, kind of, what was it, part seven, Labyrinth 6 yesterday. And I figured it was a good time because I call it as I see it. She's my beautiful wife. She puts up with me. As the channel keeps growing, where I live, because of the way the channel's growing, there's at least a quarter of my supporters. A quarter of the Maverick Nation actually comes from where I live. So I'm kind of, because of that, people know who I am, and it's the real deal. So Princess Faye is not exactly, Princess Faye is not exactly, the outgoing type. So she has to put up with that horse crap. And, everyone's saying, I know who your husband is, blah, blah, blah. She can't go anywhere. And it's kind of my fault. It's just my fault. And I got to live with that. And she has to put up with it. And, she does stream. She does every once in a while. She goes on her channel and she starts up some music and does some amazing artwork. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm telling you, my wife is an amazing artist. You've already got to see some of her work on Project Spirit, and I'm telling you all, um, I wish. I mean, I can. There's some artsy stuff that I can do, but my wife, I pale in comparison in at what my wife can do. Just an amazing woman. I'm very, very lucky. What's going on, Wolfman? What's going on? Wolfman, hang on a second. I've known you way too long for you to be a white collar. You have been a friend of mine for a good long time. So, Wolfman, oh, shoot, hang on. I'm hitting buttons that I don't need to be hitting. Hang on here. Okay, there we go. All right, Mr. Wolfman. Welcome to. Yeah. So there we go. I'm hitting buttons I shouldn't be. But Mr. Wolfman, if you'll drop something in the chat, you will notice that the color of the text with your name has changed. You will notice there's an icon next to your name. That is because you are now a member of the Maverick Mechanics. And it was only fitting that you get in here so I could do that because I have known you way too long not to trust you to watch my back. There you have it. For the record, I've been told I should actually have been a I should have been a voice on the radio. You should have seen it Friday night, the Friday night live stream. I actually put on a suit, showed how to put on a suit and tie a tie and all that other, do all that other stuff. I was looking sharp. If you go back, you'll actually see. It said that every woman. Yeah, and I went ahead and did this kind of romantic radio voice, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I had a great time, and Nerdy Nikki was in here. It was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. Buttons are acting up and going crazy on me, but we're in it. We're all right. So, real quick, let's go ahead and start talking about Legend of Zelda. It's one of my all-time favorite games. I actually got kind of a screenshot sort of thing up here on my computer. You'll have to excuse the renegade style that we're going to use, but you guys get the general idea. That's the gist of it. It'll be okay. Trust me. Well, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Miss Corey Hetzel. Real quick, let me slow down a second, uh, Miss Hetzel. Mama Mama Sketch Scars is in the chat. My partner, Mr. Jammin' John. No, I do Nintendo Switch and the Atari Flashback. Those are the consoles that I operate, and I'm not necessarily a huge Nintendo fanboy, but just it's one of those things that the Atari Flashback I had to have. I'm a huge fan of Atari still. As a matter of fact, one of the first consoles I ever played was the Atari 2600. I am that old, okay? Real quick, Miss Hetzel is who I like to refer as Mama Sketch Scars. That is the mother of my dear partner, Jammin' John, Mr. Sketch Scars himself. Oh, thank you so much, Pisces. I appreciate that. So for those that do not know, we have a very, very special person in the chat right now. She's absolutely a very wonderful and amazing woman, just a dear friend to us all. And no, we're not cooking tonight. We're actually kind of going over some old Legend of Zelda lore. I'm actually going to show you guys some interesting theories and some things that actually had changed in the video game over the course of the years. Some things that people did not know. TFZ Gaming, welcome to the live stream. Uh, Atari was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Now, if you guys would hang on a second, let me grab my other device. And you got to have a device, you know. Anyhow, there's something so wrong with me. Anyhow, real quick, let me get you all caught up to speed here, real quick. For those that do not know, I'm going to come over here to Atari. I'll tell y'all right what's going on, Sean. Welcome to the live stream. For those that don't know, Sean's my awesome guy that comes in and he'll help me drop links and everything else. He's an amazing guy. Every channel should have a guy like that backing him up. I'm telling you. I'm very fortunate that he's with me. That he comes into the channel. Real quick. Let me see. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Aircraft remover. For those that do not know, if you have never checked out Aircraft Remover here on the Prince Magnum channel, there's an entire playlist called Aircraft Remover. Okay? I promise you, you will never be the same. Oh, no, we haven't run out of ideas, Mama. Don't worry. If we do, I'll holler. I'll holler. I know you got some amazing cooking ideas that I've been dying at. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. That's good stuff right there. So if you have not seen Aircraft Remover, you have been missing out. But let me get you all caught up to speed because, once this train starts rolling, it doesn't stop. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get you guys some really interesting information as soon as I quit hitting buttons like an idiot. Yes, we have an amazing Pisces Queen, and we have Wolfman Lewis with us today in the live stream. These are some dear friends of mine, some amazing cogs within the Maverick Nation, kind of work behind the scenes, some things that you all don't get to see. So hang on just a second. This was the live stream that we talked about. We actually talked about an entire contest that there has been a great deal of mystery surrounding. Okay, so that particular link right there is actually when we did the Sword Quest, talked about the Sword Quest series, and of course we have a couple of videos up about Sword Quest, and that one right there. Okay, Mom, you take care. That isn't Mama. That isn't Mama Maverick. Well, Mama Magnum. That is, Mama Sketch Scars. And Mama Sketch Scars is a very wonderful woman. And I'm very, very glad that she was kind enough to come in and hang out with us. Again, that is the mother of my partner, Mr. Sketch Scars, Jammin' John, as we all know him here in the. No, that is my partner. That's my partner. His mom, Jammin' John, Mr. From Sketch Squad TV. That is his mom. But I talk to her like she's my mom too. You know, it's all about respect, folks. You know how I am about that. Anyhow, gosh dang it, I got to get on this because we got a lot of ground to cover. Oh my gosh. All right, so now that I'm done jerking myself off here, all right, let's come over here. Come on, sis. For those that do not know, I'm surprised my sister's not in the live. Okay, let me burn this image into your mind for just a moment. Come on, you piece of crap. Now, for those that do not know, this would be an actual screenshot from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, okay? This is an important screenshot. I want to burn this into your mind. This we know is the Master Sword, correct? We all know it is the Master Sword. Yeah, she'll probably be in anytime, start razzing me. But this is the Master Sword that we know. We've seen it in how many Legend of Zelda games? We know it all the way back to Ocarina of Time. Of course, we did not see it in Majora's Mask. But this is the Master Sword as we know it. Of course, we know this is the modern day Link from Breath of the Wild. That's right. That's right, Mama Sketch Scars. You go take care of the family. All right, so we all know this is the Link, that we know today. But right here, of course, we know the Master Sword. You have to have the 14 heart containers to pull that. All right, so now that we know that, all right, let's come over here to OG Legend of Zelda. I gotta quit dicking around with stuff here. Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. All righty. So I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This is obviously the starter sword in Legend of Zelda. You're going to come in here. Okay. Well, this is the original one I'm actually showing you. All right. Now, this particular sword right here. I'll see you later, Mom. All right, this particular sword right here is your starter sword, sometimes called the wooden sword, and a lot of people know it for that, okay? So Link will actually come up here any second as soon as, there we go, and he'll pick it up, and he holds it up right like that. Guy disappears, and then you go out into the overworld. Now, right away, one of the first things that needs to be noted is you notice I'm throwing the sword blast right away. That's important to remember. The sword blast is super, super crucial in this game. As long as you have a full lifeline, it does not matter. As long as you have that, all your heart containers full, this sword, no matter what, will throw a sword blast. Okay? So there you have that. Now, pretty interesting. Very interesting sword blast. Okay, now we're going to go to where there it is. This is when you get the white sword, what is known as the white sword in the original game. Now, this is important to remember because, well, real quick, if you get up there with a full lifeline, you are a pro, okay? But the best I could show you, right, it's a timeless classic. Please note the coloration of this sword. It is blue and, oh, fuck me. All right. It is the blue handle, white blade. Blue handle, white blade. All right. As a matter of fact, when I pick this doggone thing up, there we go. You can see it right there. in your first slot. All right. The blue handle, white blade. Okay. So that is this game calls the white sword. Okay. So now let's go back real quick to the Master Sword thing. All right. So we're going to come back here. Thank you so much, Pisces. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at that again. Blue handle, white blade. All right. You guys with me so far? So if you all were wondering, there is a debate amongst us Legend of Zelda fans right now. The debate is on the timeline. All right. Now, this is the most current timeline that we have. All right. This is it. This is as current as it gets. Now, the rest of this is not super important except right here. Please note, we do not have Breath of the Wild put anywhere in this, okay? But this is where, okay, this is as far as the timelines go. You know, the fallen hero, the, hero of time, and of course the child timeline, okay? But this is where we kind of, oh, no. I'm just so focused, Sean. I'm excited. This is where I'm right at home. I've been dying to do this one for a while, Sean. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to show you guys this. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. So I'm sorry. It's just, I'm so excited, Sean. I've been dying to do stream for a while, you know. That's what's up. Come on. All right. So this is where the original game fits in on the timeline. So if you take a look, they don't have Breath of the Wild, and there's two theories right now. Breath of the Wild, some people say, come after the second game, Zelda 2, Link's Adventures, okay? So they're saying that it finally connects the timelines together. Well, there's another theory, and this is my theory, along with a few other people. We think that this timeline moves down here now, and Breath of the Wild finally connects in here, and that 2 will be in here and here. And then these two games, the originals, will still be at the very bottom, finally bringing the timeline together. Okay? So that is one of the theories that is going around. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Hang on here. Let me adjust some settings. It does that every now and again for using AT&T Wi-Fi. Okay. Let's try it like this. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. All right, where were we? We were talking about... Sorry about that. Hang on. All right. We were talking about the timeline. Again, it may sound like I'm just driven because I've been dying to talk about this for a while. All right. Right. Does your Wi-Fi company really want to hear? You remember that, huh, 80s? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So again, what I was talking about was there's two theories out there. That's right, Sean. All right. So where we were talking about is the two theories are that one of the theories is that Breath of the Wild, the Breath of the Wild games come in right down here at the bottom and finally connect the timelines in together. But the other theory is, and the one that I'm leaning towards as this, that Breath of the Wild comes now just before the end of these two games, still making these the end of the timeline. Specifically, the reason why I say that, this is a direct sequel to the original. And because of that, in this one, there's an attempt to bring Ganondorf back, but they're unable to do it when Link beats his own shadow self at the end of the game. And of course, a different Zelda is saved. So if you will, right here in this particular This is, in my opinion, still the end of the timeline. What's going on, everybody? My goodness, we got so many wonderful people here. I'm so excited. I'm glad everyone's here. So, for basically getting y'all caught up to speed, when there was a particular video I did a while back trying to explain this, and the video was okay, but I could have done a better job, sort of thing. Basically, these two games are still the end of the timeline, and Breath of the Wild finally connects them in and makes this still the end. Okay? So, oh my goodness. Is everyone's heads exploding yet? So, in the original game, where did I put that? Ah, the magic sword. The magic sword. Okay? Okay, real quick. This is where you find it in the original. There we go. Right there. Right up here, we still have the white sword, and right there, that is the magic sword. Okay, that's what it looks like. If you ever wondered, that's from the original game. Now we're gonna get you caught up to speed on the theory. All right, let me adjust a few buttons here and whoop-de-doo. Okay. So if you were ever wondering, a lot of us early gamers, because that's 8-bit era. And technically, there are some people that do not realize that the Atari 2600 actually also fit into the 8-bit era. Now that I have said that, in the 8-bit era with the Atari and with the original NES and even the Famicom from Japan, the original Famicom, you had to have a lot of freaking imagination. You had to have a lot of imagination. A lot of us early gamers you should have seen what we did. You would actually, when you picked up your game manual, it would give you some backstory to kind of work with. Like in Mario Brothers, there's actual information that when you read that manual, it gave you some of the back history on it. Legend of Zelda, the original, was no different. So, because there's only so much you could do with an 8-bit game. Well, here's the problem. Now that I have said that that there is an 8-bit game, that basically that you had to have the imagination. A lot of us thought that when we started hearing the Master Sword, we knew that the end of the timeline was Zelda 2. When you play Zelda 2, there is no upgrades to your sword. There's only upgrades to your abilities and your uses in magic. That's really about it. You pick up items, which is typical for, a Zelda, a Legend of Zelda game, stuff like that. But there is no upgrades to your sword. Throughout this game, though, the original, you're upgrading your sword regularly, if you will. 6 heart containers, you pick up the white sword. 12, you pick up the magic sword. So if you want to get all technical, even though you never actually see that item drop, the old item drop, what if, and this is a theory of mine, what if you're not actually dropping that item? What if it's an actual upgrade to your sword? Think for a second. In this game, there is no Temple of Time. Where does the Master Sword usually go? It goes to either the Temple of Time or somewhere like that. So the theory right now from this channel that with the events of Breath of the Wild, never thought of it that way, huh? With the events of Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword did not return to the Temple of Time. It returned. It was put in front of the Deku Tree. So 100 years later, after Link falls, which definitely means that Breath of the Wild should actually be in the Fallen timeline because of that. But because the Fallen Hero timeline definitely is the darker of the series. But if you take a look at it from that angle, because many of us old school gamers, we had to have a lot of imagination. So when you take a look at it in that light, there is no Temple of Time for the Master Sword to return to. Where does it go? It goes in front of the Deku tree. It has to regenerate there. It doesn't regenerate in the Temple of Time like it normally does. So what does that mean? When Link picks up the Master Sword, and you'll see it throughout Breath of the Wild, you'll be fighting, 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 and it'll say that the Master Sword's running low on energy. Wait a minute. This is the sword of the hero, the sword that seals the darkness. How in the world is that sword running low on energy? And then all of a sudden, in the middle of a fight, yeah, we'll talk about that here in a bit, sis. We'll talk about that. You already gave me one idea. We'll get to it. For those that do not know, the young lady that just popped in, Hannah, that is my little sister. That's my little sister. Oh yeah, it's dark. It's a dark one. But if you will, because the Master Sword keeps exploding into a shower of sparks, and you got to wait 10 minutes for the Master Sword to kind of regenerate itself, then you could go back to hacking and bashing with that thing. Which, for the record, the Master Sword definitely is at least a hand and a half, sword. It looks pretty easy to wield for a guy like me. But anyhow, slow down, Prince Magnum. Quit chasing rabbits. I get so excited. This is my favorite video game series to talk about. Okay. So, because of that, and that sort of thing, the theory is when you at the end of Breath of the Wild, because I figure there's going to be at least 2 more installments to Breath of the Wild. The next one we already know about. I'm excited. But my theory that the third installment, Link is probably going to go back to Termina. He's going to go back to Termina. Oh, thank you, Gotons. He's going to go back to Termina, and he's going to talk about, basically, that's going to be, again, tying in the timelines that'll finally connect into the last 2 games. Because that's been the biggest joke about the Legend of Zelda series. Oh, we don't have a PS yet, but Princess Faye and I have talked about me getting one. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh. You guys think I'd be here goes my sis again. For the record, Sean and my little sister, with the banter back and forth, is just absolutely hilarious. And my little sister, especially on Saturdays in my makeup live streams, she'll tease and say that she has that she has a twin sister or an older sister. She will pick on me the whole time. Here is the theory with the original game. Okay, ready to have your mind blown? The Master Sword that we know of in Breath of the Wild is broken and weak. So by the time we reach the original game, that is towards the end of the timeline, we know there's one more timeline, there's one more game that ends the timeline. Okay? So, because of that, by the time you get to the events of the original game, the starter sword I showed you in the beginning of this stream, that sword that has the green handle, the brown blade, that is the Master Sword. Because right out of the gate, as soon as you pick it up, you're able to start throwing sword blasts. However, because there is no Temple of Time for that sword to return to, there is no other place for that sword to return to, except to the side of a mountain where there's an old man who says, it's dangerous to go alone. Okay, take this. That is the Master Sword. It's just in an extremely weakened condition. There is no Temple of Time to return to. So, when you go to the second spot, which gets closer to Death Mountain, it's up there near Death Mountain, okay? When you get close to that spot, you get the upgrade, restoring the Master Sword to its original condition that you might have found just before the events of Breath of the Wild. Because if you remember, before Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword did not explode into a shower of blue sparks when after an extended period of time in frickin' combat, okay? You could just fight, 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 and keep going. So when you take that into consideration, okay, in other words, there is no Master Sword dropped. You don't drop the starter sword and pick up a new one. That sword, when you see it, that's the upgrade. You stand on it, Link holds it up. We know that now as the next part. Basically, you're grabbing that upgrade, that sort of thing. So in this particular case, when I showed you guys the white sword, that was actually the Master Sword. Then we get to the Magic Sword. So where does that fit in? Well, that's the Master Sword 2.0, if you will. It's just that we didn't call it that at that time. But that, if you will, that's the Master Sword 2.0. It is upgraded beyond the point where there is no more upgrades. Is your mind blown now? Talk about that. So, thus making Legend of Zelda, the original, and Zelda 2, Link's Adventures, the end of the timeline as we know it right here. How is that for mind blown? Which, for the record, the Japanese updated version of the original Legend of Zelda, if you will, they actually tried to say that the Magic Sword was the Master Sword. No. We already picked that upgrade up. Don't try to George Lucas that bullshit, all right? That's some George Lucas bullshit. Don't you do it. Oh, for those that are Star Wars fans, let me just say this. Greedo shot first. Okay. I couldn't help it. No, I already know. I know the original, the 1977 version. For the record, two great movies came out in 1977. The original Star Wars and my personal favorite, Smokey and the Bandit. We could use you now, Burt Reynolds. We could use you now. All righty. So, oh my gosh. So, what do you guys think of that theory? Is that awesome? I love that movie. So, what you guys like that theory? That is an actual Prince Magnum game theory. It's kind of long-winded, but if you like the original games, which for the record right now I'm actually editing the Labyrinth 7th video. It'll be ready by next Monday. Nah. Fall asleep through. I'll be honest with you. Ridiculously. That's funny. My personal favorite, I'm sorry. Smokey and the Bandit was a better movie and should have beat Star Wars at the box office. That's my opinion, okay? Because that movie said it was okay to have fun with hot rods again. All righty. Smokey and the Bandit is a classic. Second one's not bad. A third one, I wouldn't bother. But anyhow, y'all know how much I love my cars. Okay, so now that I've talked about that, let me come over here and show you guys something very interesting. All right. How would you guys like one of the very first controversies in the Legend of Zelda franchise? What's going on, Daniel Live? Welcome to the live stream, my good man. Daniel Live Forever has been working on a channel and been busting his butt. Show that man some support. He could use it. He has been working his ass off. All righty. Here we go. All right, folks. I'm going to show you one of the saddest things, two things in this live stream that's going to blow your mind. For those that do not know, we all know that Legend of Zelda is a Japanese product, okay? So much a Japanese product that it does not translate to the West very well sometimes. There's actually two controversies that follow this game. The first controversy is directly from the original game. And the second one came not too long after the first controversy. And here it is. Okay, get ready to have your mind blown. No, not Hiroshima. Sis, we don't need to talk about that. Okay, right there. That's it. That particular map in the Labyrinth, we all know what it looks like. Okay? And again, remember, it doesn't say, dungeons. This is level 3. Okay? This particular screenshot, let it set the tone for this part. Okay? This right here is the map for level 3 or Labyrinth 3. Okay? Sometimes we call them Labyrinth, sometimes we call them levels. We didn't hear that term dungeon until later on. But this map here, you see what that looks like. Okay, this was the first controversy in Legend of Zelda. Okay? And what happened was, we know what it looks like if you live in the US or if you live in the United Kingdom or even if you live in Germany, especially if you live in Germany. Yeah, the third map. Okay. Yeah, Jackie Gleason, totally made the third movie, the third Smokey and the Bandit, the best. Well, that and who was it? The guy who played Snowman, he was amazing. But no Burt Reynolds, you can't call it Smokey and the Bandit. Okay, that particular map right there, we know what it looks like. It looks like a swastika. Immediately, everyone said, oh my God, this is a racist game. That's immediately what everybody started screaming. And this was all the way back in the 1980s. Back in the 1980s, we really didn't give a shit about all that. Yeah, Jerry Reed, thank you. I couldn't think of his name. Amazing country music singer. I'm not a country music fan, but I like Jerry Reed. But because of that, we immediately start thinking Nazi Germany, okay? And the Germans got upset about this, okay? Remember, folks, Germany does not even like mentioning all the bad stuff out of World War II. Their country's still pretty doggone ashamed. So if there's any ever Germans that come through here, let's keep that, yeah. Thanks so much, Pisces. Appreciate that. Okay, so now that we have kind of talked about that, let me say that the swastika goes much further back than Nazi Germany. It is a symbol that's used around the world for many different cultures, many different religions. As a matter of fact, in Norse mythology, that particular symbol is a symbol of strength and protection. In other cultures, good fortune, things like that. As a matter of fact, there was even, that was one of the reasons why the Nazis adopted it. They were trying to kind of change history, if you will. Trying to say the Aryans were here and things like that. They were trying to change history. So adopting the swastika, a symbol that is known around the world in many different cultures, even in Buddhism. Yeah, they lost. But so when you see that particular symbol, it means like good fortune. I forget the exact name that they use in Buddhism and Shintoism. I actually know this. I forget the exact name they use for it, but that particular symbol is a symbol of good fortune. So when Japan, when Nintendo of Japan was developing this game, the original Legend of Zelda, putting that in there makes perfect sense. It's a symbol that everybody can know. Right. So that's what they get for trying to mess with history. And, I will say that because Adolf Hitler had a fascination with Norse mythology, let's just say that Thor's son Forseti struck down Mjolnir on top of the Nazi party, and that is why they lost the war. All righty. There you go. A little bit of mythology from Prince Magnum. So, if you will, it just kind of made sense. It did not translate too well to the United States and other countries that fought against Nazi Germany. And what's going on, Mr. Cartoon Movie Makers? Welcome to the live stream, my good man. We're actually talking about a little bit of Legend of Zelda lore. Hey, Go Tots, thank you for being in here. You're gonna have to check out some more of this, on the playback. You're gonna love it, my man. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna blow your mind with all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the fairy. Yeah. You had to. I'll tell you a funny story about that real quick too. There's an absolutely funny story that goes all the way back to my teen years. But anyhow, okay. Well, I'll show you. In the original game, I'll show you again, Mr. Cartoon. In the original game, this is the map from this is the original 8-bit era Legend of Zelda. This is kind of let the screenshot burn into your mind. This is from the third labyrinth or level 3. Notice the symbol. So I was actually explaining why a lot of people threw a huge fit when they seen that. And they thought that this was like a reference to Nazi Germany. That'll be about enough out of you, sis. So what if I'm turning 41 this August? I still look good for 40 years old. Gosh darn, I look good. Anyhow, especially when Princess Faye puts makeup all over me. Then I look real good. But anyhow, I look all purty. I look purty and stuff. Well, okay, here's the problem. Number one, Nazi Germany did kind of change. He's like, oh my God. I had to redneck that one a little bit, But anyhow, so that particular map caused the first controversy in the Legend of Zelda series. Okay. And so that was the first controversy. And so there was this talk that it was racism and things like that. And Nintendo in Japan was like, whoa, that wasn't where we were going, because that particular symbol in a lot of other religions, even with the Native Americans, my people, it's a symbol of good fortune. In Germany, with the Norse religion, it meant a symbol of protection. And I actually know how. And, yeah, here goes my sister's going to start in on it. So that was the first major controversy. So there was no more references to this particular map. Thanks, Wolfman. I appreciate that. So that was the first controversy, which leads into the next controversy. The Triforce that we know. 65. Well, that's retirement age. Careful there, brother. People get a little. Anyhow, so because of this game, even Nintendo had to change the Triforce because of it, because of this game. Okay? Amazingly enough, Nintendo had to change the Triforce because of this game. So the Triforce that we know in... Sis, you are way too young. No, sis. No. You stop that right now, sis. Oh, heart's having palpitations and stuff. You stop that. No, sis. For all you that don't know, my sister's going to be 17 soon. You stop that right now. I don't want to hear no one talk out like that. What's wrong with you? No, my little sister. Oh, no, it's one of those things. I understand that at some point my sister's going to be dead. Oh, you're 47? Oh, okay. You get it. I'm going to say it right now. My sister is 17, she's going to be 17 soon and all that other stuff. I understand there's going to be some things that she's going to do that all of us adults understand and everything like that. But I don't want to know about it, okay? She's my little sister. I don't want to know about it, okay? Period. End of discussion. It's just like my kids, my little daughters. I know they're going to be doing things that, Mr. Cartoon, I'm glad they have. And you know, right here on the Prince Magnum channel, you are always welcome. We don't hold nothing against you. No, I don't. I don't want to even hear whether or not you have or haven't. You will. No, you just stop right there. It's like my, I have children. I have daughters that are teenagers. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. They could just, they were my babies. They will always be innocent. Don't say another fucking word about it. No. Okay. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. Don't tell me. Leave me completely oblivious. Everyone's like, oh my God. No, sis. Anyhow, she found my kryptonite. Yes, there is. But we'll talk about it's better not, we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's just say that our troll, he's under serious watch. The police in his neighborhood know him. They know how to find him. Yes, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Any hoop-de-doo. So that the original map that I just showed you for level 3, that caused the first controversy, which leads into the next controversy. Yeah, oh, woo. All right. That is the Triforce piece, okay? And for the record, it just gets slightly bigger when you get all 8 Triforce pieces and you save Princess Zelda. You two are standing side by side with the 2 Triforces. All right, Pisces, thank you for being here. I'm so glad you came in. I'm so glad you came in. Thank you so much. Right. Well, he suffers identity issues, and I think he's got a crush on me. But anyhow, that's just creepy. I know it's a teenager, and he's got a crush on a guy that could be that's old enough to be his dad. That's just no, wrong. I'll see you later, Pisces. Sorry about that, folks. Here we are again. Okay, so that particular bit that I was showing you on the Triforce piece. Thank you again, Pisces, for being here. Yeah, he pulled a fast one, but we caught him. Anyhow, so that, sis, we know that. That's because our dad married a younger woman who is your mother. Your mom is not terribly much older than me. So I guess Dad was doing something right back then. But anyhow, for the record, I'm 40. Princess Faye is 27. Yeah. Well, okay. It is and it isn't. Okay. It is and it isn't. With the symbol that's sitting there like it is on the map, that, well, that particular way that the symbol is sitting, no, it is not the swastika. If you turn it about a 45-degree angle, then it is. Okay, it has to be turned at a 45-degree angle. Then it is a swastika. Okay, but as it sits like that, no, it is not. As a matter of fact, to give you an idea, that particular symbol has been used long before Nazi Germany. As a matter of fact, it's an ancient Norse rune that goes all the way back before the birth of Christ. Yes, there was other religions before. But anyhow, that is symbol goes all the way back in Norse mythology. How far back? Possibly 3,000 years before the birth of Christ. Okay. Well, because of World War II, when people seen that particular symbol, immediately everyone started thinking Nazi Germany. And where was this game developed? This game was developed in Japan, which was an ally of Nazi Germany during the Second World War. So immediately we thought that back all the way in the 1980s. And this is 1986, okay? My grandfather was still alive. A lot of our World War II veterans were still alive, and we were still hearing the stories. We were still hearing the stories about the Holocaust and things like that. That's my sis. You know, no, you better not try to give me a heart attack, sis. You shouldn't, sis. Behave yourself. Put you in timeout. Uh, anyhow, so because of that, people got all butt sore in this country and over in Europe. It did not. This particular map did not translate well to Western culture. Okay, because in Japan, in Shintoism and Buddhism and religions like that, this particular symbol is a symbol of good fortune. And it goes back long before Nazi Germany, all the way back to the BC era, okay? You know, before Christ. So because of that whole translation issue, right. So because of that, there was that whole mistranslation thing, which ended up leading into the next problem. And I showed you the Triforce piece, okay? So later on in the game, Link and Zelda are holding up the Triforce of courage and the Triforce of wisdom. We know that in the third game, that Link brings the final piece. Well, in the second game, behave yourself, sis. Brings the final piece. That's right. Hannah is my little sister. Sure I am, sis. Sure I am. I'm the original, which makes me the best. Anyhow. You're racing, Sean. Are you drag racing? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. And Faye is my wife. That's correct. But anyhow, yeah, sure, sis. You weren't even alive then. You were the what, 23? Well, I was 23 when you were born. By then, my oldest daughter was a year old. Anyhow, so when that started, the Triforce actually had to change, and it started changing by the second game, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure. Kind of the whole family. My mom may actually be lurking somewhere in the background as I'm talking about this. That's right. Mama Magnum may be lurking in the background somewhere. We don't know. She doesn't say anything. We just know that she might be there. Real funny, sis. Real funny. But anyhow, because of that Triforce piece, the triangle, if you invert it and paint it, that was, see, everyone thinks about, yeah, I'm actually going to kind of touch base on that. Because you know about the three pieces of the Triforce that make the full piece. The reason why it's the three triangles that come together to make the one with the center removed is because in this game, because of that Nazi swastika theory that was completely wrong, totally fabricated, You are correct. That you are correct. However, here on the Prince Magnum channel, I will ask you not to use any of my real names because we talk about Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm supposed to remain anonymous at the level of press, radio, film, and on camera on the internet. So, because of the 12th tradition, I always ask that everyone not use any of my real names because of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, so because of this whole reference, everyone always thinks about with the Holocaust, the armbands that the Jews had to wear, that our dear Jewish people that were in the Holocaust had to wear, that whole Star of David on the arm. Well, there was other armbands. There was the ones that suffered from, and there is the ones that suffered mental disabilities. Okay, they had a special armband. There was more than just the armband that we think about. What would be my wish? My wish would be a lot of change. It'd be a sweeping change. It'd be actual peace. That would be my wish to touch if I touch Triforce. Actual true peace. But we are not there yet. Okay, so because of that, people automatically started thinking that Legend of Zelda, well, the Triforce, world peace, yep. The Triforce that is in this game, they automatically thought because there was an armband for our dear homosexual people. That's my sister. Uh, because of that particular piece, the Triforce looking the way that it does, they started thinking that it was, if you inverted it and painted it pink, it would be the armband from Nazi Germany, and they thought that it was a direct attack, that the Legend of Zelda games were a direct attack to the homosexual community. So because of that map, it led into the next controversy. And that particular controversy was that this game was a direct attack towards homosexuals. So because of that, the Triforce had to actually change. Oh, here we go. My sister being abusive to Sean still. So because of that, the Triforce had to actually change. And where did it change? Hang on here. I just had it. Let me give you this. Oh my gosh, sis, will you behave yourself? Okay, right there. That's the upside, that's the Triforce as we know it. When Link holds the sword up, this is actually inverted properly. That's the Triforce, okay? Notice the three triangles with the center missing. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about that. There's a lot of jokes about that. So this is the Triforce that we know, okay? So, of course, there's the three triangles, but this is the updated version of the Triforce that we know from Legend of Zelda to Link's Adventures, all the way back from the NES, because we actually see this at the end of the game, which, of course, again, proves that this is the end of the timeline. That's the final in the timeline. But that's what they updated it to because of that whole controversy from the first game. That it was, Nazi Germany still lives and it lives in Japan because they were allies with Nazi Germany during the Second World War. Blah, 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 blah. Why else would he have a sword? That's funny. So that's why the Triforce had to actually change. And it did start making its changes by the second game. And that's why it was, because there was that whole attack. And I forget the guy's name. He created Mario. He created Legend of Zelda. I forget his name. But He actually had to say, no, that is not what is going on here. What is wrong with you people? And so for years, there's even some people that still believe this nonsense. But there you have it, some Legend of Zelda lore that most people don't even know that goes all the way back to the original game. Pudding pops. you know. So if you find that in Bill Cosby, Joe. Yeah, we all know about Bill Cosby. Him and Bill Clinton should hang out sometime. Oh, anyhow. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, isn't that pretty interesting? Some actual history about Legend of Zelda that most people don't even know. So that goes back a ways, doesn't it? That goes back a minute. What do you guys think of that? Skippity bop bop. But yeah, I mean, most people, this is the stuff that most people don't even know. They don't even know this stuff. Yeah. Well, that isn't kidnapping at that point. They'd bring you back, sis. Trust me, they'd bring you back. Anyhow. So if you guys ever wondered about that, ever wondered about that whole thing with Legend of Zelda, and of course, I gave the whole game theory on the Master Sword, and even tied it in. Now, real quick, there's another theory. The original Legend of Zelda, that link, I have my theories. Okay, start of the game. There's two different Zeldas in in those first two games. The one that you have to save in Zelda 2 is not the same one that you had to save in the original Legend of Zelda. Two different ones. The one that you save in Zelda 2 has been asleep for about 100 years. Okay? Something happened and she was put in a deep sleep. I forget the story. So she's in a deep sleep, has been for 100 years, knows the secret of the three larger pieces of the Triforce. Okay? That being said, I have some questions here. That is the start of the game. That is Link. That is Zelda. What is he doing there with her right there? Like, what is he doing? I have been asking this since 1987. What is he doing there while she's in a deep sleep, unable to wake up? Looks suspicious if you ask me. Spooky stuff, folks. Spooky stuff. Ugh. We all know that when Link goes into town, there's this whole thing that he goes into this woman's house and his lifeline all of a sudden regenerates. Is it something like in GTA? Grand Theft Auto? Is it something like that? Take it as you want. Take it at face value. It could be a joke. I hope it is. But we know when he goes into town, he goes into a woman's house, and to regenerate his lifeline, does she give him a potion? Does she, perform a magic spell and his lifeline comes back together? Or is he using his personal magic sword on her? And anyhow, and then we find him right there. I mean, this is not little kid Link from the first game. This is all grown up Link. 7 years later, we know this from the reading the story on him. I'm just suspicious, okay? You horn dog, Link. Oh my God. He's a little horn dog. Anyhow. For the record, in Breath of the Wild, that is still there. If you hit a Kuko, they will all just bombard you. Yeah. And if you don't run for the hills, you're dead, man. Yeah, an Ocarina of Time. Oh my gosh. My little sister. So, hang on. Okay, I got the spot that you need to see. All righty. There you go. This is the woman that regenerates your health. Please let me help you. Come inside. Link goes in. I can restore your life. I bet you can. What is he doing in there? What happens? My theory is I'm just saying. And then we see him at the start of the game near a sleeping Princess Zelda. Spooky stuff, folks. Spooky stuff. Theories that you didn't think about in the original two games. And I just took you down a dark one, didn't I? Y'all had expected something like that at some point. I mean, I've been asking these questions since 1987. I honestly, I was sitting there thinking the whole time that maybe he's you know. Oh, sis. Sis, you're not supposed to be talking like that. I don't want to know. No. Hell's wrong with you? I think he was sticking her with his magic sword. That's what I think. I think he was sticking her with his magic sword. Not the one he's holding here, but yeah. Just wrong. Anyhow. What the hell? All righty. So now that we've covered that, what do you guys think? Pretty neat? Pretty neat stuff. You be quiet, sis. You be quiet. Right now, there is a bunch of people right now that's been laughing uncontrollably, not able to talk. There's Queen. There it is. So now that y'all, you be quiet, sis. So yeah, so I got to show you basically the whole controversy behind the whole Nazi, the Nazi connection that really isn't a connection. That was actually one of them that I've been wanting to do for a while. No, that's my little sister. That's my little sister. All right, now I'm going to say it. Now I'm just going to say it. Sis, it doesn't go in your ears unless you want to hear them coming. Anyhow. Just got your back for that ornery shit earlier in the stream. She said they're going, well, that's a pretty damn good one. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's Alabama time. All righty. So, what do you guys think? Pretty neat? Pretty neat? Queen's losing it. Queen's losing it. So, real quick, before there was a Legend of Zelda, we did talk about it, the Sword Quest series. And before Sword Quest, the most important series that led up to Sword Quest is a series of 2 games called Adventure. Yeah, that's his other magic sword. But Adventure and Adventure 2 led up to the Sword Quest series. Sword Quest then led up to Legend of Zelda on the NES. So, arguably, some people will say when it comes to the Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time is the greatest of all time. I will argue that and say the original Legend of Zelda is the best, because if it was not for that game, we wouldn't have the other games. That one had to be a true success. It was. It was such a success that they did Zelda 2, Link's Adventure. And that one kind of put some of us off a little bit. It was still a good game. But here's something that most people don't know. If you've ever played that game, it is a pain in the ass. That game bends you over and doesn't use any lube. Okay. The problem is that because there was actually, this is one of those ones, there was no quality control back in the old NES days. And ironically enough, the screwed up part about this was the screwed up part. As they were testing Zelda 2 and testing it, the people that were testing the game to make sure that it was right, they're like, well, let's turn the NES days, not Super NES. That was before Zelda 2 Link's Adventures came out on the original NES. Okay. So what happened was as they were testing that game, which it was actually supposed to be something else, but then it got turned into Zelda 2. As they were testing it to make sure that it was right and everything, what ended up happening was they're like, well, we're getting too good at this. Let's turn up the difficulty a little bit so we can continue testing. We want it to be challenging. And they kept turning up the difficulty. Well, it got to a certain point that the game was extremely difficult because they'd been testing this game for a little while now. Well, they get to the end. They're like, this game is ready. Let's release it. They forgot to turn down the difficulty and released it at a high difficulty level. That's why the game is such a pain in the ass. That's exactly why it's a pain in the ass. No question about it. That's why it is so difficult, because they forgot to turn down the difficulty level for us kids in the 80s. And which, for the record, if you've ever played any NES games, the original ones, they are very unforgiving as far as games go. They're extremely difficult. You want one of the most difficult games in the NES library? Ghosts and Goblins. That game is a bitch. Those leaps of faith, pick up this weapon and it screws you, things like that. That game, yeah. Yep. Exactly, Mr. Cartoon. That game is just downright hardcore. I've only seen a handful of people beat it. I have, since I played that game. Oh my God, since I've played that game numerous times, and I'm going to tell y'all a funny joke about Zelda 2. Hey, what's going on? Mr. Sketch Scars himself, Jammin' John of Sketch Squad TV. My name is or Eeyore. We don't know. We don't. It's one of those questions we've never, Uh, folks, we have an absolute joy right now in the live stream. Sketch Squad TV, Mr. Sketch Scars is in the live stream. My partner, the one who, if it had not been for him, we would have been hacked the other day. His setup on all of my accounts, it looked like a Christmas tree here at HQ, here in the office. Good question. Good question. I could actually answer that. But if it had not been for Jammin' John's amazing work that he did to set up a lot of security stuff, I would have been hacked. Sis, hook up with this guy. He's the one that set me up where I was so dang secure. Nobody. My little sister got hacked, Jammin' John. You might want to talk to her. Yeah, that's the guy who set me up. I'm serious. Jammin' John set me up so tight on security about a year ago that when that guy tried to hack me, I'm sure Sputnik lit up like a Christmas tree. Hi, honey. Oh, my.
Everything's a freaking joke. Anxiety hit, couldn't go to LTAP, so I left. Because no menu, one window. I don't know how it's supposed to work. The person in front of me looked like they had already placed the order, so I wasn't sure if I could place the order with the window, so I thought I maybe had to do it over the phone, so I started getting anxiety, so I left. So I went to Walmart, got what I needed from Walmart, and then I decided that I was going to go to Taco Bell. Taco Bell's drive-thru was like freaking 3 miles long. I was like, okay, I'm patient. I can chill. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Sat in the drive-thru for about 15 freaking minutes. 2 cars ahead of me, they stopped taking orders. Because they needed to shut down for the night. That's fine, I understand, but maybe since I waited for so freaking long, you could still take those of us that were waiting. So now I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do for dinner? Because Dennis is expecting freaking Mexican, but I can't get LTAP or Taco Bell because I have anxiety and they're closed. I didn't know what to freaking do. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to drive around Deloge really quick, see what stores are open, and go from there. Well, there's an LTAP in Deloge. And I was like, okay, cool. This looks like a nicer place, a nicer LTAP. Maybe they have an actual menu. They had no freaking menu. I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom was like, you have a phone. Look up the menu on your phone. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a thing I could do. So I'm waiting. I'm like, there's one car in front of me. They've already placed their order over the phone previously, so they just have to sign and get their food and go. Can I even place my order at the window? So I started getting anxiety again. I didn't know if I could place my order, and I went up there and I was like, I need this and this. Is this okay? And he was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. It's this much money. Here, please sign. And I couldn't get the pen back on the clipboard, and I started freaking out again because I was getting anxiety. I didn't know what to do, so I gave it back to him, and I was like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, you're fine. Just go park over there. And I was like, I feel really weird waiting in a parking lot for food from a dine-in restaurant, and I didn't know really what to do. Am I supposed to go in? Should I just sit here? So I just kind of sat there until finally they gave me the food, and I just drove home.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All righty.
I have food.
Okay.
Do you want your food now, or do you want me to send it in the...
Jammin' John says, you need a Valium, girl?
It's okay. I bought Tequila Rose from Walmart, so I'm good for tonight.
I'm good with all that noise. Okay. Jammin' John, you missed it, man. We were actually talking about the Master Sword 2.0. You remember that talk? Where I actually broke down the games? What is this? Ooh, nifty.
The metal piece you wanted.
Yeah.
Hang on to that one for an emergency. I've got a second one too.
Okay, all right. We actually talked about that and I actually broke down the timelines and everything. Yeah, we did that today. Ooh, spooky stuff. Oh, real quick, Jammin' John, we also talked about another theory of mine. Yeah. No nacho fries. Yeah, my little sister. Queen Bee wants you to share some of the tequila rose with her.
I'll give her a shot. I'm probably gonna end up drinking the entire bottle because that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Share some of those with me.
Share.
You know it. I mean, are you sure? It doesn't look. It looks like you might already be drunk. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Okay.
No nacho fries. Yeah, no nacho fries. Oh my god, I freaking love nacho fries. I'd kill for some nacho fries. I actually wanted to get nachos, but because of my anxiety, I forgot to get nachos. So we're not having nachos.
That's fine. I could make nachos.
Yeah, you should do that.
I could do that.
Maybe later.
Queen Bee, you and TFC Gaming, and we're all gonna have to hang out. We're all gonna have to hang out. And actually, all of you in here, we all gonna have to hang out sometime. We're gonna have to have a big cookout. Big cookout.
That was loud.
It'll be all right.
I'm still kind of anxious. I'm gonna go.
Could you top off my
Probably.
coffee cup, please?
I'm gonna get you coffee, and then I'm going to. I don't think I need any coffee. Do you think I need coffee?
No, you have a heart attack. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I wasn't on last night. I just loaded another. Oh, no, you're talking about Princess Faye. Yeah. Frickin' YouTube. Dang. Hey. Okay. Okay, I dig it. No. Jam and John is a partner that I hooked up, is my partner that I hooked up with last year. Hooked up with my partner last year. And basically, between the two of us, we kind of turned our channels into juggernauts. And last year, he's still in the background lurking. That's all right. It's all right. So because of that, between the two of us, we really, I've known it. Yeah, I've known him for, no, longer than that. Longer than that. Give me a second. I've known your dad almost 20 years. Almost 20 years now. Yeah, almost 20 years to be exact. 17 to be exact. 17 years is how long I've known your dad, and kind of knew your stepmom a little bit at that time. I didn't meet her till a little bit later. So there you have that.
If it's okay with you, I'm not gonna wait for you for food. I'm hungry now.
Go ahead, baby. I was gonna say, now I am gonna take everybody outside so they can see, because I know Jam and John will want to see Spirit.
Fine, I'll get dressed again. See, I can out myself like that, but if anybody else outs me, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
All right. Now, at this point, we're just kind of BSing a little bit, having a little bit of fun. Jimmy J.
What?
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 I was reading some stuff on chat. Right. All righty, folks. We all know that I am not the true star of the. Oh, Jimmy James. Jimmy James, let me welcome you to none other than the Prince Magnum channel, where the hot rodding and romance do coexist. We are the first channel here on YouTube to do both custom cars and romance together as its main platform. That being said, Jimmy James, if my partner, Mr. Sketch Scars, would drop the link to anything that you're working on in the chat right now, would be greatly appreciated. But along with that, as a special shout out for you, Mr. Jimmy James, let me take you to see the true star of the Prince Magnum channel. That's why I say I'm the host. The true star is not here.
First, before you go, check this out.
Ooh, nifty.
Pretty.
That is nifty.
Mama called me impulsive for buying this, but I like it because it's shiny.
Right?
Okay, you go do your thing.
No, the true star is not here. The true star, we have to go out and see. The real star of the Prince Magnum channel. That's right, folks. I'm not the star. I'm just the host.
The real star is me.
You are one of the stars, but you're not the main star. Ooh, I'm scared of the dark. Anyhow. The real star is right here. Jimmy James, let me introduce you to Project Spirit, my 1975 Ford Maverick. This is my baby. Jam and John, you haven't got a chance to see this. Look at that. We redid that. Isn't that nice? Take a look. Isn't that nice? So there you go. Isn't that neat? Oh, started. I don't have the keys on me right now. We are going to see about doing a live stream where, I'll let y'all be surprised. Start. Not right now. You know how that car is. Go get the keys. Go get the key. All right. Let's take a walk. Because again, I am not the star of my channel. I'm the host. That's the star. That's Project Spirit. If Think Different in here, he always likes it's him and a few others always tease and say sounds of the 70s, when I start Spirit up. That's the joke, sounds of the 70s. Get it? And then we have to go. Well, it was one of those things. Everyone's like, come on, come on. All right, all right. Now. I got tired of y'all hollering at me, come on. Gotta at some point give the people what they want, right? Okay. Some days you just don't have enough hands. Let me turn you all around for just a moment. Here we go. The first key. That does not start the car, but that unlocks the steering wheel. The second key. That isn't Spirit. That's our neighbor. He's got a neat little VW he's been working on for a minute. So there you go. Here, real quick, I'll... Ah! So y'all can see that ignition setup. Isn't that neat? Alrighty. Let's hear the true stars. Sounds of the 70s, folks. There you go. An original inline six from 1975, tech November of 1974, coming up on 300,000, all original miles. Averages 40 miles to the gallon on the highway with a top speed of 130. What's go? Oh, you've been lurking here the whole time, Chairman? Well, that's what's up. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, what do y'all think? Project Spirit? The real star? I'm just the host of my channel because no one really cares what I have to say anymore. They just care what the car says. And it says vroom vroom, right? Vroom vroom. Alrighty. So, there you go. Project Spirit. The true star. So, James, you got to see her. Got to check her out. You digging it? You liking her? She's still a work in progress. She got a long ways to go. That car is so much fun to drive. Oh my God. You don't know what exciting is. Matter of fact, earlier I was showing another friend of mine, and she's like, you've got to sell me that car. I want your car. I'm like, no, Pisces. No, that's my baby. No, my baby bought me that baby. You catch my meaning. All right. So we are in the office, and since this is a mostly DIY channel, it is only fitting that we talk about a particular camera mount that we use here on the channel. For those that don't know, those awesome shots that you get from over the dash, that goes out over the hood of Project Spirit and Project Lena, those come from these particular dash cams, and Jammin' Johns has actually seen those cameras, and these are great cameras. 1080 pixel HD, and they're great. We use them for everything here on. We use those cameras for everything here on the channel. Unfortunately, because those dash cams don't have any other types of mounts, mounting them anywhere else or stands. There is no other stands. There is no other camera mounts. I had to make my own. So I went in behind HQ and cut down this little tree that normally this area of trees, this particular area of trees, normally the city comes through and cuts all that down, hauls off the brush. Well, I know this. I've been living here almost 6 years. So because of that, it just makes sense. Why don't I go back there and cut down my own tree and use the wood from said tree? So I decided to make my own camera mount out of wood. I cut out a section of wood, and basically this is that section. This is the camera mount. Now, Jammin' John will recognize the shape right away. But what I did was I carved out this section right there. That particular section right there. So the camera will literally set just like that. Then this spot here, I had to carve out this spot where the camera lens will actually sit. So literally the camera lens will sit right there. So because of that, how I had to get this spot right here was I had to take this half moon shape file, this one right here, and I laid it down and worked it back and forth until I had carved this section out perfectly for the camera lens. So because I used this file on this block of wood, that must mean I am good at filing and should try my hand at being a secretary. It is tradition when we're here in the office to do that joke. That's Sean's favorite. That's actually everybody's favorite joke in here. Coins, there it is. There it is. So, Jammin' John, if you had Uh, Jam and John, if you had not heard the filing joke, you have now heard it. You have now been initiated because that is an all-time favorite joke here on the channel. The Maverick Nation insists that when we're here in the office, we have to do that joke. And sis, you behave yourself. Too young to be talking like that. Shame, shame. Oh my goodness. So there you have it, folks. We are now reaching. Oh my gosh. Listen to you guys. All right. So did you guys learn anything? Legend of Zelda stuff? We had a lot of fun. Sis. No. No, sis. No. No. All right. So we are reaching that 2 hour marker. There has been some people that asked about the troll. Okay. After the last live stream, the troll in question, when he attempted to hack my account, it sent off all sorts of warning signals. I knew that the same troll was one who came after my sister. I knew that because he just doesn't get it. So when I showed that I knew what town he was in and that I had brought up the police department, Jam and John was the one who set me up, okay? I actually contacted the local authorities in Hartford, Connecticut, where this son of a gun lives. I told them that I was able to that he attempted to hack my accounts, that he did hack my sister's account, basically to cause problems, that he was harassing me. They said they're more or less, if he makes any other sideways moves at this point, they're basically watching him right now. They are fully aware. They have his IP address, all that other stuff. They went to the next step because if I'd have done it, it'd have been a lot worse. So he is now under severe watch. Let me explain. If he is under the age of 18, his parents could even get into trouble. Basically, this is serious internet stuff. Cyberbullying is a crime. Hacking someone's accounts is a crime. That is a federal offense. Okay. If he would have, basically he's looking at actual adult charges and his parents are looking at charges as well for child neglect. Okay. For not watching their kid. So they're watching. They're watching right now. They are fully aware of what's going on. This is serious stuff, folks. We got the guy. Invasion of privacy, yes, there's all that. So he's looking at serious time. He even uses an aerosol can in any other manner than what is on the label. He's going to prison, not juvie. Real funny, honey. I'll be in there in just shortly. I know it. If he is being watched under a microscope right now as we speak. His best bet, shut everything off and go do something else. Go take a walk, take a hike, read a book. Right. I'm just repeating what you said, baby. It sounded like a good idea. Do something. Right. No more tearing off tags and mattresses for him, right? I mean, seriously, he is being watched under a microscope at this point. And it could even eventually evolve the FBI because this sort of stuff, we ain't playing. What monster does that? There are some people that are evil. Anyhow, So he's in dire need of basically, I did my part. We got him. And he's facing serious charges. Even if he doesn't do anything, there's still the off chance that they may decide to go ahead and launch an investigation against him, anyways. So he's looking at, basically, when I told him, I was also told that I'm not the only one that he's bothered, and that he's caused problems for other people, cyberbullying, that sort of thing. And they're like, okay, they wouldn't say any more because it's one of those things. Yep, it's one of those things that, as politely as I could put it, um, he's in a lot of trouble. I honestly, I think it's because he has a crush on me, which is weird because I'm old enough to probably be his dad. I can guarantee I'm old enough to be his dad, and that's just even creepier. The dude's got basically gay dad issues, right? That's just. I'm gonna go throw up now. I'm like gonna throw up. Just think. Ah, chat down, chat down. Okay, don't worry. Oh, Sean, no, no. What is wrong with you? Why? 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 No. Oh man. No. So I think he's infatuated with me, which that's just wrong. Sean, you mother. All right. So we do need to shut this down. I got to go eat something, take care of my blood sugar. Just no. What is wrong with people today? Right? Right? Yeah, you all should have seen it. There was ding, 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 ding. All right. Yeah, it looked crazy in here when he tried to mess with my stuff. Jam and John hooked me up. All right. So, all right, everybody. Again, it was awesome that I got to show you some cool Legend of Zelda stuff. Did y'all enjoy this? Other than we kept getting sidetracked from time to time, but did you all enjoy the Legend of Zelda stuff? I hope you did, because I mean that's some straight up cool stuff that most people wouldn't even know. We're talking. I had to go back in time and actually, not literally, but I had to go back and do my research. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. When I was a kid. So it was pretty neat. Tomorrow, I have no idea what we're going to do yet. I just know we're going to do something. That's really about as far as I've gotten. I just know we're going to do something. We might try to do a magic show tomorrow. We might try to do a magic show tomorrow. Um, Thursday is sober talk as usual. Okay, Thursday's going to be sober talk as usual. So that's going to be exciting. Honey, you streaming tonight? Almost 9 o'clock. She might just do that for y'all. So I know Thursday's definitely going to be sober talk. Cannot change sober talk. That stays the same. Friday, fancy Friday coming in hot and heavy. I'm going to show you guys this awesome turtleneck suit. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's an amazing look. For those that don't want to wear ties, you just got to get used to a turtleneck. Okay. And of course, Saturday. We're definitely going to be doing, well, if Princess Faye, you know, you're still going to be doing my makeup, right, honey? Okay. Just checking the schedule. Princess Faye will be slathering drag makeup all over me this Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. So y'all are definitely gonna have to check that out. I know how much you all just love sexy Saturdays and fancy Fridays. Sunday, Daniel. Sunday, though, there may be a chance that Sunday I may not be able to live stream because I'll be live, well, I'll be on location filming. I got to talk to the people, but I may be this Sunday on location filming, have to stream Monday. So there's an excellent chance of that. Heads up. We don't know yet. I got to talk to the people and that sort of thing. Kind of that buyer beware, okay? So, real funny, sis. Real funny. Drag. That's the... Anyhow. All right, so that brings us to our stopping point. Again, thank you all for being here. If you have not had the opportunity to smash that like button, do so at this time. Okay. And again, thank you all for being here with me. Thank you all for we've had a lot of amazing people in like a week's time come through here on the Prince Magnum channel and just like, kind of like just some amazing people that you all are starting to get to see come through here on the channel. It's absolutely awesome that so many wonderful people come through. So that brings us to the stopping point where I get to say to all of you, thank you all for being here and making, again, the Prince Magnum channel is amazing that it is getting. You guys are the true star. You guys are true stars here on the Prince Magnum channel. You guys are the Maverick Nation. So, as always, get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. Do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, especially in these dark times, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.